Hello everyone. Today I'll be speaking about local healthcare centers and how they are the future of healthcare. So, in 2018, Kerala state successfully controlled the Nipah virus outbreak, and by the first week of July, they were declared free from Nipah. Whereas the outbreak just started in May, in the second week of May. So, the total amount of infected patients were just 19, and only around two districts were completely um, isolated because of the patients or the index cases out there. So the state has survived two successive devastating floods in the past, and also has faced several health related challenges like the avian influenza and the Kyansur forest disease. So what are some of the learnings we can get from Kerala and how they control the Nipah? So, firstly, I would say swift public health response by the state and the coordinated efforts of MHFW and the ICMR averted the spread of the outbreak. Secondly, I would say the focus was on early case detection, isolation, and treatment, and suspected symptomatic patients were immediately quarantined and isolated into wards, and contacts were the contacts of these patients as well were home quarantined. So, third point would be training sessions were conducted for the healthcare workers around the state as to how to prevent the infection, how to control it, how to quarantine, and how to trace the index patient, because that was one of the major breakthrough the case could have, and how to actually stop the entire chain. Then an on-ground public health officials and panchayats, all these the panchayat president or the urban health body led monitoring teams across all the villages in Kerala. That I mean, they also fulfilled several needs such as daily needs, medical related support, etc. Then a control room was set up in the state with experts to monitor home quarantine, contact tracing, and isolation logistics. So, there was also an like a huge amount of involvement of all the political leaders, religious leaders, media, civil servants as well. So, the thing is, multiple call centers were also opened at the same time to facilitate the public hospitals and the private hospitals at the same time, because both public and private hospitals were working in cooperation along with the local healthcare centers across the state. So even the villages, the healthcare centers in the villages were connected to all the private and the public hospitals around in the city area. So, out of all these points, what stood out, according to me, is the role of the healthcare centers and the healthcare workers. Apart from the well-equipped government hospitals with dedicated medical experts, so the state has a wide network of these primary healthcare centers, which function as the first level of contact with the population around the state. So the state is now even acquiring a permanent mechanism to diagnose and track any of the future upcoming infections or viruses. So, what is a healthcare center? That will be the first definition I would love to go into. That is, a healthcare center is something sometimes referred to as a public or a local healthcare center or a state owned rural care facility in India. So they are, essentially a single physician clinics, usually also, facilitated into minor surgeries as well. So they are, the part of the government funded public health system in India. And are most basic units of this healthcare system facilitated by the government. So presently there are around 23,673 healthcare centers in India. So, as of 2019, there's a total of 6,64,369 villages in India. So, don't you think the ratio of villages is to healthcare centers is a bit bizarre? Because imagine we had 6,64,369 healthcare centers in India. That is around one healthcare center minimum for a village. We are just talking about villages here. So, let's come to the topic of why a healthcare center can be a changing factor. Why a village having a healthcare center can be a changing factor. Firstly, I would say, deliver high quality culturally competent and comprehensive primary care, as well as supportive services such as health education, translation, transportation that promote access to healthcare. Then meet requirements regarding administrative, clinical, and financial operations. Then they can provide services regardless of patient's ability to pay and charge for services on a sliding fee scale, which is pretty much impressive. And they can operate under the direction of the patient majority governing bodies and autonomous community based organizations. So these include public and private non-profit organizations, as well as tribal and faith-based organizations. So they can also develop systems of patient-centered and integrated care that respond to unique needs of the diverse medically undeserved areas and populations. So another important benefit of these centers can be transfer of knowledge related to health. Imparting knowledge to these centers in rural parts of India can be a major breakthrough, because many of the people are uninformed about any of the health conditions. Sometimes they don't even know what they are going for, but they're feeling ill. And at the same time, if you get information regarding that, it can be a good thing. It acts as a bridge between the undeserved and rural parts of India in terms of knowledge as well as getting services. So, okay, if not a doctor, trained individuals can be placed in all these villages and districts through health care related services, and they can be facilitated quickly when needed. Like in the case of Kerala's Nipah virus condition, where many people and individuals were trained regarding how to curb the particular virus, etc. Similarly, many individuals and young generation can be trained regarding this and can be actually set up into these healthcare centers. So, how is this possible? People might be thinking, how can be the payroll of these entire framework can be possible? So, for example, we just target these 6,64,369 villages. So, to provide them with one healthcare center, what can be an approximate budget? So, let's just take the salary part. Let's do the math. So, the average monthly salary of a healthcare worker, regardless of the type, it can include normal trained individuals, as I said before. It can be nurses who want to serve in these places. It can be surgeons. It can be retired doctors, or anyone of that sort. Usually the average salary ranges up to approximately around 10,000 rupees per month. So if you take 6,64,369 villages into 10,000 as a salary for per month, it's around 6,643,000,000 roughly. So for a year, if you take the entire sum, comes up to 79,704,000,000 roughly. So it appears that the Statue of Unity itself took around 27 billion roughly to be built, and around 5 to 6 million a year for its maintenance. At the same time, I'm acknowledging about the fact that the Statue of Unity actually serves as a great tourist spot, and the turnover is also humongous. Around 83.5 crores was the last year's turnover through travel and tourism accounts. So, keeping that in mind, I would just say that this is just an example of the Statue of Unity. There are several other examples within the country like that. So, what is the need to understand here is that how, just like Kerala, all other states can work towards strengthening their healthcare centers and the healthcare workers' connections. So they can do this by cutting short on expenses, by realizing what is actually needed. So just like they say, fruits when they are young and when they are ripening, in their ripening stage, they look beautiful from the outside, but do they really taste good? Similarly, we must not say that, or we must not just decorate our country from the outside, but the decoration should start directly from the core, from the root. See, because roots aren't, if the roots aren't strong, the plant won't be, healthy enough to withstand the blow. And the plant here is, in this case, the country. So the root has to be strengthened first before decorating the country. So rather than investing in several other investments like maybe, you can say the Statue of Unity, just an example. In my opinion, there are several other places where we could have cut short those expenses and invested in these places in such a way that every state can be a Kerala in the upcoming pandemic situations, because the world is currently in a major financial loss as well as health related loss. So the country really needs these kinds of investments, and it would be a major breakthrough if one village can get one healthcare center along with a healthcare worker. It can definitely make a difference, according to me. So that would be something I was looking to share with you all, that decorate the country from the inside rather than outside. And one small suggestion, what I feel that the youngsters of India should take up is, especially the medical students, and rather than interning at private and public facilities, one can intern at these healthcare centers and actually serve the load of the government. I mean, experience as well as serving the nation is something which people look up to. Like all the medical students can serve as their summer interns or their winter internships programs in these particular healthcare centers, where they'll be placed into rural villages and rural areas of India. So through that, a lot of amount of these investment can be saved, and we can decorate the inside and the outside at the same time. So the young generation is someone who can be responsible for this as well. So with that, I would be ending it, and that was my time. Thank you.